Ibrahim Traoré, president of Burkina Faso, is doing... Burkina Faso, the transitional government, is investing massively into weapons to protect the country against terrorism. The goal is to eradicate terrorism. In 2023, more than 600 billion CFA francs have been invested into acquiring equipment. 600 billion CFA francs were spent to acquire military equipment. 600 billion CFA franc is about $1 billion. That's a lot of money for an African country, as small as that one, to spend on military equipment. That is a lot of investment. This determination reflects the desire of the new authorities led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré to strengthen the capacity and the defense of the security forces. Why do they need all this, fellas, you're asking? Burkina Faso is a beautiful place, lovely people, like I said. I almost never left that place. I'm telling you, don't send me to Burkina Faso. I might not leave again. Yeah, I had some of the best welcome I've ever had, ever in my life. Unbelievable. Anyway, the reason why they need equipment is because the country is crippled with terrorist attacks. They're attacking so often that there was a serious need to combat this. Ibrahim Traoré is a soldier, a captain. Before him, there was another president who was doing absolutely nothing against terrorism. Literally, he was just being a president, while people were in some other places in the country. And before that president, there was another president who also was doing absolutely nothing about terrorism. So these military, these soldiers say, you know what? This is our country. The country does not belong to the president. We are taking over and we are going to fight terrorism. We are going to invest the money that we have. We are going to take even the money we don't have. We're going to invest it into fighting terrorism. You know, normally when a country is taken over by coup d'etat, you know, when there's a new president whose president not elected but by coup d'etat, many international organizations do not cooperate or talk to them. World Bank, for instance. World Bank is an institution that gives money to countries. They only give money to poor countries, though, to make them even more poor. World Bank refused to work with Burkina Faso because they say you are not a democratically elected government. Burkina Faso say, you know what? You can keep your money. We don't need your money, okay? We're going to bring people together and get money out of people in the most organic way possible. The president of Burkina Faso said, I don't want my salary as a president. I just want you to pay me as a captain, as a soldier. My salary as a president, take it, put it in a big pool where everybody will put a percentage of their salary so we can have enough money and to buy weapons with that money to fight against terrorism. That's exactly what they've done. So he's been a man of field. He's not been a person of just talking. President of Burkina Faso, a country crippled by terrorism, goes to France to go encourage his soldiers. He takes his weapon with himself, he goes to France. But unofficially, they were still within the country through business, through money. The proof is in the pudding. The currency used by Burkina Faso up until now is the CFA franc. The CFA franc was created and printed by French. Okay? Now, they kicked the French out. They said, you know what? We don't need you anymore. We're going to fight terrorists by ourselves. We don't need you help. Shortly after, Russia came. The Russians have come to Burkina Faso. They've invested military into training Burkina Faso military. The Russians are training Burkina Faso military to be autonomous, to fight for themselves. So in the future, they will not need anybody else to fight their fight for them, which the West was not offering. The West was saying, okay, we can come to your country. We will fight the terrorists for you. You pay us. The Russians say we can come to your country. We will train your soldiers. We will sell you equipment and you will fight your fight and free your country. That gives you experience. In the future, you don't need anybody. You can do it by yourself. Now, Sergei Lavrov is very happy with the cooperation. He said we have big deals, big cooperation with Burkina Faso right now in terms of military. And his Burkina Faso counterpart said, we are very happy to see this. And we are looking to permanently open a Russian embassy and have a Russian ambassador placed into Burkina Faso, in Ouagadougou, so that things can move easily and much easier between them. Again, fellas, I think it's very interesting to see a young president, 36 years old, not moved by power, not trying to show everybody that I am a president. What are the odds? From a captain who's absolutely nobody to a president of the republic. It's crazy, isn't it? Now, Burkina Faso is a country that's showing the lead. Okay, it's showing the way to many people, telling people this is how it's going to be. We are going to be free. We are going to live our life as we please. We are going to protect ourselves. Now, this is the reason why many experts believe France does not lack Russia, because the Russians are working very hard right now. They're kicking the French out of Africa. They're going into countries that used to be colonized by France. They're taking over one by one by one. And that's the reason why Macron has been sending, words saying we're going to send military in Ukraine. We must support Ukrainians, because Russia is freeing some of the African countries from the shackle of colonialism that's never ended. Let me know how you feel about this, fellas. It's always a great pleasure. If you come to Africa, I encourage you to go visit Ouagadougou. It's very hard, though. It's very, very hard. Don't play. It's very hard. Like, you have never seen no heart before. It's very hard. But the people are also just as warm as it is hard. Definitely one of the best places I've ever visited. God bless.